Hi, this is Elizabeth Hines from ourpaleofamily.com.
And this is Kate Hines from ourpaleofamily.com. And this is Luke Hines from ourpaleofamily.com. And if you watch some really old videos, you've probably seen them. But they haven't cooked with me for a while. But today we have something special. We don't have Instant Pot. We are making Resurrection Biscuits, which we made these when the kids were really little, with that kind of dough that comes like in the can in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. But we can't eat those anymore. But some people keep asking for them, so I have worked on a recipe. And it's kind of a strange recipe because we have this dough that we cook in the pan, and it's going to take us all working together really fast to make those. And then we'll kind of tell the resurrection story through our biscuits. Okay, are you ready to get started?
Yep.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we have to melt some things together. So we're going to melt our fat, which is a half a cup of palm shortening. And, okay, so this recipe is paleo because we're using all paleo approved ingredients until we get to the butter. There's a little step with butter, and you could substitute coconut oil, you could substitute more palm shortening, but because these guys who are going to be eating them can eat some dairy, we're going to actually use some butter for that. But aside from that, it's completely paleo approved recipes. Okay, so this I'm going to turn up to about medium. If it starts to go too fast, we'll slow that down. Okay, Kate, what's next? We put in the palm shortening.
Filtered water.
Okay, so we have a quarter of a cup. Actually, that's a little bit more, so let me dump some of that out. What are you supposed to do with your measuring cup when you're measuring?
Set it on the ground, make sure it's level.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot more than a quarter of a cup, isn't it? That's a third of a cup.
Yeah.
Somebody must have had their old lady eyes on when she measured.
It's pretty good.
Okay, so that's a quarter of a cup of water. So we have our palm shortening in our water, and then we're going to put maple syrup in there. This says organic pizza sauce, but it's not. I get my maple syrup from Pennsylvania in gallon jugs, and so I keep that out in the garage refrigerator. Luke, will you dump that in and like wipe it all out while I clean this up? Whoop! Sorry.
Should I use the spatula to wipe it out?
The spatula or your finger, either one.
You could have used your finger.
Yeah, because see, that's going to end up just making a mess. So don't be afraid to get your fingers in there, okay?
Okay.
You can get it all out. And then you can lick your finger if you're good. But I'm not going to because then I have to wash my hands again. Okay, so we want this to come up to a simmer. Luke, will you get out that green flat thing? Okay, and we also have to put, what's next?
Sea salt.
Yes, we also have to put our salt in, which is a half a teaspoon of sea salt. So that goes in, and we're done with that. So Luke, you can scoot that to the side. Okay, you want to crack the eggs? You crack them into this. Okay, so that's starting to go. Can you stir it, Luke? Actually, you know what? Let's do this. That way you kind of whisk it together. Yep, that's good. Kate has been taking a cooking class. There's a camp in town that offers classes for homeschoolers, and she's done a cooking class both in the fall and in the spring. And so she's getting really good with some of her cooking skills. Okay, so that's definitely bubbling, which is good. And our next step is we're going to add in this tapioca starch. Now, if you follow me at all, you know I mostly bake with almond flour and arrowroot. But this particular kind of dough works really well with tapioca, so we're going to use tapioca. Okay, that's definitely simmering, so I'm going to pour this in. I'm going to dump it all in. And we take that, and we just have to kind of beat it, and mix this in. You can dump it in the sink. Yeah, we're done with it. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Now I'm going to take it off of the heat. And sometimes not all of the liquid is absorbed at this point, and it just looks like a great big mess.
Yeah.
It looks kind of yucky, doesn't it? We practiced this yesterday, and it tastes really good, but I'm flopping it all over the place. it's a mess at this point, but don't worry, we have more to do. But this is why we have to work fast, because we're going to put eggs in there, and the dough can't really sit for a long time. And yet we don't want our eggs to scramble. So Kate, actually, will you get a fork and just kind of beat those eggs up a little bit? This is just kind of stringy and yucky, but I promise it's going to be good.
It looks like oatmeal.
Okay, so get that in the sink. Okay, so are you ready? Do you want to mix? Do you want to pour?
I'll mix.
Okay, you have to mix super fast without slapping it around. Okay? All right, so get ready to mix. You got to hold on to the pan. Okay, you ready? Now put your hand under it so it doesn't drip all over. Okay, here comes the egg. Mix, 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 real fast. Okay, now I just added in 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar. Are you good?
Yep.
Keep going. Let's make sure we put everything in. So at this point, we just added a little coconut flour, 1/3 of a cup. We've added the 2 eggs. Let me stir for just a second. And the coconut sugar. And at this point, it will start to come together as a dough. But you can tell I'm working really hard. It's nice and yellow because my eggs had nice yellow yolks. Kate, you give that a stir for a minute. See how tough it is. I always think that there's vanilla in the recipe, but there's not.
Oof.
It's tough, isn't it? Okay, let's stir it again. You can, oh, you know what? I meant to put in some cinnamon. Keep stirring, keep stirring. It was supposed to be a full teaspoon and it wasn't. Okay. Let me put this away while Luke stirs. It does, that cinnamon just made it come alive, didn't it? Okay, let me take over?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could work with this dough right now, except that it's really hot. So I want it to cool for just a minute. So I'm going to take it out of this pan and I'm going to dump it onto the parchment just so it can start to cool a little bit, and then we'll talk to you about the resurrection part of it. So this is how you can, in a fun and yummy way, teach your kids the Easter story with food. Okay, so let me scrape this out of here. Whoops. There we go. We actually made a savory version of this one last night. I put garlic and onions in it, and we used them as little hamburger buns. They were really yummy, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, do y'all remember the story?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What do we say? Like, what's the story?
So
I'm just flattening this out so I can kind of portion it out.
the biscuit is the tomb for Jesus' body to go in, and you get a.
The oven is the tomb.
The oven is the tomb.
I think.
No.
No.
It's the biscuits.
It's the
tomb.
biscuit.
Biscuit's the tomb. Okay.
And then the microwave is the 3 days.
It doesn't go in the microwave.
Does it?
It goes in the oven.
I remember putting it in the microwave. Maybe Dad did that. I don't know.
No, we never put it in the microwave.
So
The oven,
then
the regular oven.
And then you put the marshmallow in, and the marshmallow is Jesus. And
Okay.
then when you take it out of the oven, the marshmallow will be gone.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's portion our dough. I'm just going to cut it with the pizza cutter because that way I can do it kind of evenly, sort of evenly. I didn't do a super great job. I'm being careful because this is really sharp. I just want to kind of sort of have our portions laid out. Okay, so let's talk about the marshmallows. You guys helped me make the marshmallows. What are they made out of?
It's
Gelatin.
Gelatin?
sugar,
What kind of sugar?
Maple sugar.
maple sugar, and then it's heated to the soft ball.
Okay, so it was a combination of maple syrup, honey, and there was one more. Do you remember what it was?
Mm-mm.
Coconut sugar.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Coconut sugar. Okay, so we tried to sort of...
Can I put it in?
No, I'm not ready. Patience. Okay. Yes, the marshmallows. So this is Danielle Walker's from Against All Grain. It's her marshmallow recipe from her Celebrations cookbook. And Luke's right. We cooked the sugars to the soft ball stage, and then we had the gelatin in water, and then we slowly poured in the sugar, the hot sugar, and it was dark brown because we had honey and coconut sugar and maple syrup, which were all brown. And then it became this really, will you grab those, Luke, while I wash my hands? Show them to everybody.
Fluffy, lightish brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have our homemade marshmallows. Okay, we need another fork. Alright, so we have 8. You can make these smaller if you wanted, but I think they work better a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to spray. This is just avocado oil in a spray form. I'm going to spray 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll pour a little bit of water in the ones we didn't use. And then, okay, so Jesus died on the cross, right? And then once he was dead, the ladies came. Who came?
Mary Magdalene and
Was it Martha?
Martha, I think.
And there was another Mary, right?
Yeah.
But not his mom.
No.
And they came, and they would have wrapped his body in spices. Or was it Joseph that came? Joseph of Arimathea came because he had the tomb, right?
No,
Yeah.
The women asked for the body.
yeah, so they could have spices on it.
Yes, to embalm him, which was what they did at that time. Okay, so let me show you a trick. Doesn't always work, but when you're working with something sticky, instead of like greasing your hands, sometimes just some water will work to keep you from being sticky. So just tap your fingers in there and then kind of pat those out a little bit. So we had 8, so I'm going to pick my 8 best marshmallows. So after we made the marshmallows, we poured them out into like a big half sheet pan. So ours came out pretty flat. Either she didn't say in her instructions or I just skipped it in the instructions, but I think if I made the marshmallows again, I would make them in like an 8x8 pan so they'd be nice and high. So mine came out kind of flat, so I cut them to try to be as square as possible. So let me pick 8 good ones. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they're good for snacking. I was telling my husband last night because they're sugar and gelatin, and it's a vital, this is the Vital Proteins grass-fed beef gelatin. It gels. And this, you could buy a canister of it. It was like $45 to $50. It was really expensive. And I knew I didn't need a lot for this, and I actually use a different kind of gelatin or collagen for what I put in my coffee and tea and stuff. But Danielle recommended this brand specifically. So these are little individual serving size packets that you could use, and there are a ton in here, and it was a lot cheaper to buy it this way. So Vital Proteins beef collagen is what I used for the marshmallows. Okay, so Jesus' body, this is his body, right? Was, the oil's melted or solidified. Okay, so Jesus' body gets embalmed, right, in the oil, which in our case is butter, and then the spices, which is a mixture of maple sugar, coconut sugar, and cinnamon. You could use all maple sugar, you could use all coconut sugar. I don't like the flavor of coconut sugar as much, which is why I used a combination of maple, and just a second please, and I didn't use all maple because I ran out. Okay, so then, see, some people say this is the tomb, and some people say this, they wrapped his body in cloth, right? So either way, we're wrapping Jesus up. So, but you're saying this is the tomb.
Yeah.
Okay. So do your best to seal it. It's very likely that your marshmallow is going to leak out, and if it does, it does. It's okay. But just try to seal it. Get your hands a little bit wet, and then you put it in one of the muffin cups that you greased. Okay, embalm some Jesus. You want me to do it too?
Yeah.
So the kids, I think, like cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Luke is a Boy Scout. He has his cooking merit badge already?
Yeah.
Kate, your bracelet thing is getting all in there. And Kate's been doing, like I said, this cooking class. But I think they don't love getting their hands dirty just yet.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, all right. So I think you used to be kind of grossed out by getting anything on your hands. So did you take, no. Is it one that was greased? It wasn't greased. You got to make sure you put it in one that is greased. And look, So-
From this one.
so no, don't take any. You just can smush it around. Okay, look, now he's in there now. Okay, now look, can you tell which one is greased? Okay, yes it is.
Mom,
Okay.
can you fix mine? I think it's falling
Yes,
apart.
you guys get it started and then I can help put them back together. So when you work with regular bread dough, it's not going to happen like this because it's got gluten. And gluten is glue, it's protein. So it helps to hold everything together. Luke, what is happening with yours?
I don't know.
Add something to it.
Did you put 2 marshmallows in there?
No.
Okay, so our oven is on 350. And it's hot. I heard it beep. So look how I'm laying it down there and I'm kind of pinching it up as I go. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Should I wash my hands?
No, you should work on sealing some up. You're capable of doing it. The less is better. So look, like I just got it pinched and it's together and then now just leave it. Okay, don't mess with it a whole bunch. I'll do this last one. These take about 30 minutes. Oh, so that one did really well.
We don't want Jesus to leak out.
No, we don't want him to leak out. We want him to be in there because what did the soldiers do? They came.
Guarded it.
What did they put in front of?
A big rock.
They put a big rock in front and they stood there and guarded it because they thought that those sneaky Jesus followers were going to come and steal his body because what had Jesus been saying he was going to do?
Rise from the dead.
Right, so they were making sure that they didn't just make that up. Okay, let's wash our hands. So now he's all wrapped up and he's going locked away
Yeah.
for
The
3
oven
days.
door is the stone that's put over top.
Oh, the oven door is the stone. Okay, so we're going to seal the stone for 3 days or 30 minutes. Okay, so we're going to clean up and we'll show you the magic that happens in a half an hour. Hey everybody, okay, so 30 minutes of our Jesus in the tomb with the stone in front. And what happened is he's not there, right? So these just have come out, so they're super hot. But I want you to see, if you have those little silicone like muffin cups, those will be great for this because the marshmallow is going to leak out of a lot of them and be very sticky. And so it would make it easier. Like it leaked out of that one. So I'll leave that one in there for a second. That's just that cinnamony, marshmallowy, yummy goodness. There's nothing yucky about that. It's actually delicious. But I hope you can see. Watch this. So they're baked. We had that Jesus wrapped up in there, and look. He's not there. The cloth is there, the spices are there, but he's not there. He's risen. Yay! So happy Easter, everybody. This is a great recipe, this basic bread dough. I'll have it posted on the website. They'll be called Resurrection Biscuits. That you can, instead of putting a marshmallow inside, you can just roll the dough into little balls. Have you ever been to like a really good Italian restaurant and get garlic knots or
Oh yeah.
they're so good, and like you're breathing fire because there's so much garlic on them. But this dough is perfect for that. Fresh garlic, you could use powdered garlic, whatever. It's really yummy.
Yeah.
I would have you guys taste this, but I know it's gonna burn your tongue. But they work perfectly as Resurrection biscuits. So get in the kitchen and make this treat with your family or some neighbor kids. And it's a yummy treat, and it's a fun way to show the Easter story, right? So happy Easter, everybody. We hope you have a great time celebrating our risen Savior. And I'll see you back here next time, probably with more Instant Pot recipes. Instant Pot?
Yeah.
Instant Pot.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.